Have you ever felt that little prickle on the back of your neck? That feeling that someone's eyes are right where they shouldn't be, peering over your shoulder at your screen or your book? It's a universally uncomfortable feeling, right? But have you ever wondered why we feel so strongly about this? Why is do not read over someone's shoulder such a deeply ingrained rule of social etiquette? It's not just about modern privacy concerns with smartphones. The history goes back much, much further. Let's travel back in time way before digital screens to a world where reading itself was a rare and powerful skill. In ancient and medieval times, literacy was the domain of the elite scribes, clergy, and nobility. A written document, whether it was a religious text, a royal decree, or a personal letter, was a symbol of power and knowledge. To be able to read was to hold a key that most people didn't have. Reading wasn't a casual public activity like it is today. It was often a formal, sometimes even ceremonial act. So imagine the audacity of a common person trying to peek at a script meant only for the eyes of a priest or a king. It would be a serious transgression, an attempt to steal a glance at forbidden knowledge or confidential information. This created the first layer of our social rule. Reading was private because knowledge was exclusive. As we move into the Renaissance and the age of the printing press, literacy began to spread like wildfire. Suddenly, books and pamphlets were more accessible. This led to a boom in personal correspondence. People started writing and receiving personal letters more frequently. Think about it. These letters contained everything from business dealings and political opinions to declarations of love and juicy gossip. They were the private text messages of their day. The concept of personal privacy began to solidify. A letter was a sealed, intimate conversation between two people. To read someone else's letter over their shoulder was the equivalent of eavesdropping on their most private conversation. It was a violation of trust and a serious breach of social decorum. It was during this period that the idea of minding your own business really took root in written communication. Then came the Victorian era, a time famous for its strict and elaborate rules of etiquette. For the Victorians, manners were everything. They were the glue that held polite society together. Reading a novel in a drawing room or a newspaper on a train became more common. However, the space around a person, their personal bubble, was considered almost sacred. To invade that space by craning your neck to see what they were reading was seen as incredibly rude and ill-bred. It wasn't just about the content anymore. It was about respecting a person's physical and mental space. The act of reading was seen as a quiet, personal retreat, and interrupting that by peeking was a sign of poor manners and a lack of refinement. It was like barging into a room without knocking. Now, let's fast forward to our digital age. You might think this old rule would fade away, but it's become more relevant than ever. Our screens, our phones, tablets, and laptops are extensions of our private lives. They hold our private conversations, our bank details, our work emails, our embarrassing search histories, and our personal photos. That little rectangle of light is a portal to our entire world. When someone reads over our shoulder today, they're not just peeking at a single page. They're potentially getting a glimpse into the most intimate corners of our existence. That feeling of violation is so intense because the stakes are so much higher. The discomfort we feel is a modern echo of centuries of social conditioning that has taught us that a person's reading material is their private business. So, the next time you get that urge to see what the person next to you is texting or reading, remember you're not just breaking a simple rule. You're pushing against a tradition of privacy and respect that has been built over hundreds of years. From the scrolls of ancient scribes to the glowing screens of today. It's a small act of courtesy that carries a huge weight of history. Thanks so much for watching and exploring this piece of social history with me. If you found this interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more dives into the why behind our daily lives. See you in the next video.